Sri Aurobindo Savitri. All here is a mystery of contraries, darkness, a magic of self hidden light, suffering, some secret rapture's tragic mask, and death, an instrument of perpetual life. From Sri Aurobindo Savitri, page 600. Mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says, we must not be bewildered. We must not be bewildered by appearances. Sri Aurobindo has not left us. Sri Aurobindo is here, as living and as present as ever, and it is left to us to realize His work with all sincerity, eagerness, and concentration necessary. With love and blessing, says our Divine Mother. Here are some extracts from Nirodha's I am here, I am here. Topic: the great sacrifice. These extracts are from a record of the last moments of the great sacrifice written after Sri Aurobindo's withdrawal by Sri Nirodharan, a close and long-standing disciple of Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo seemed now to withdraw himself from his surroundings. Evidently, he found the deep plunge more useful for whatever purpose he had in view than caring about the afflictions of the body. He appeared to have allowed the body to have its own actions and reactions while he was engaged in a more inscrutable work of world significance. The body, he had assumed, had served him well, and as the mother has said, it has suffered, endured, worked, achieved all for us. Now, if it served as an impediment to the godlike sweep of his movements, why should he not change it? As he did not allow the physical handicap to trouble him in his work and maintained throughout the same fire and passion, so after the accomplishment of the work, he did not allow the body's distress to serve him for from his occult sublime purpose. Even of this dire disablement, he took the amplest advantage. He was not a nature to be cowed by circumstances, however adverse they might be. If he had to give in on one front, he must gain the full compensation on another. Even if he knew beforehand that defeat and failure would be the result, that would not stop his working and fighting up to the end. Even if I knew that my mission would fall, I would go on working till the last moment, were his words in a letter. Nishkama, disinterested karma of the Gita, was his motto. It was the memorable 4th December, the date written forever in letters of gold. Sri Aurobindo had totally emerged from the depth and expressed a desire to sit up. In spite of our objections, he insisted. We noticed after a while that all the distressing symptoms had magically vanished and he was once more a normal, healthy person. Then he sat on the chair. The change was so sudden and unexpected that we looked at each other in sheer joy and amazement. At last our prayer has been heard. This was the sentiment welling up in the silent heart of our devotion. It could not be believed. Now we venture to repeat our question. Are you not using your force to get rid of the disease? No, came the shocking reply. We could not believe our ears, and to get a confirmation of our disbelief, we asked again. Now no ground was left to harbor the illusion. What we heard was as plain and sharp as a saber edge. Then we put forth the bold query, why not? If you don't use the force, how is the disease going to be cured? To this, he simply gave the cryptic reply, can't explain, you won't understand. Here, at last, was the key to the mystery. That is why the disease had progressed step by step, marked by three clear stages in its downward path: the completion of Savitri, Darshan, and the school anniversary. Each stage followed by a deeper and deeper indrawn condition. It was one of the final stages that the Divine Mother remarked, whenever I was there, I used to see him pulling down the supramental light. It was clear from this statement what Sri Aurobindo was busy with. He had shifted his gaze and concentration. He had shifted his gaze and concentration to something else, which to his view must have been much more important than mingling the affliction of the body. But we had not the vision nor the comprehension, so we thought that the descent of light would fulfill our heart's desire. After an hour, he came back to his bed, and along with his coming returned all the signs and symptoms with a vengeance. The short respite seemed to have given him time for a further grapple with the advancing shadow that was trying to draw a premature veil upon his work. Half an hour before the fatal moment, he drank some water and bestowed on all a last glance of compassion and recognition for the services rendered, and took the plunge ultimate. The news spread around in the early hours of the morning. The reaction of the disciples can be better imagined than described. Through the hush of night, one by one they came and mounted up the stairs of heaven to see what nobody had seen before. It was not death they saw, not a resurrection, not a resurrection, not a withdrawal into nirvana, but a grand repose, a death that was pulsating with power, light, and beauty in every limb, as if death had become immortal in the body of the King of the Kings. A vivid rendering of the truth into a touchstone of matter. It was no longer the body, but the golden lid which half covered, half revealed that truth. Those who had the inner sight had realized the truth, and those had the inner ear had heard in the still cave of the heart the piercing cry, I am here, I am here. In that awakened consciousness, we are marching forward. In that awakened consciousness, we are marching forward towards the goal the Master had set before us, for which he had worked to the last breath and has promised to do so till the goal is attained. Our Divine Mother, the Mother, Supreme Creatrix and Realizer of that goal, is our guide and goddess. Enriched with all his inexhaustible achievements, occult and spiritual, and with the supramental light that had automatically passed on to her, she is shaping us to the mold and figure he had visioned as a future type of humanity. And one who had visited the ashram after the great event could not but have been impressed by the will to victory that his sacrifice has engendered in every breast. Out of his samadhi, 1,000 flames seemed to be mounting up and lodged in our soul, burning in an ever rejuvenating fire, while his presence enveloping and merging with and radiating from the mother's being and body is pervading the whole atmosphere. One can see his presence, hear his footfalls, his rhythmic voice, ever vigilant, devoid of the encumbrance of the physical body. One day the sacrifice will bear fruit, what he had depicted in Savitri will come true. For what is, after all, Savitri, if not the inner life episodes of Mother and the Master? What he had pictured in the great epic has been faithfully enacted on the world stage. The wheel has fallen on the first part of that wonderful drama, and the sequel is being playing behind the screen. The fight with the last supreme adversary has not ceased, if it has ended on Earth's battlefield in an apparent failure. It is raging as fiercely in the occult planes. When, at the close of the duel, the curtain will be lifted, we shall hear the sonorous recital of the Book of Death. We shall see materialize the epilogue on the earth stage, and throughout the world will echo and re echo the embodied, passionate cry of victory: I am here, I am here. These are taken from the extracts from Nirodharan. I am here, page 16. Her Divine Mother says, what a marvel, what a power, what grandeur. The one who was with us, his power, his force still vibrates in his room. It is place for meditation and for receiving the vibration of the truth which it emits. It is charged. The presence of Sri Aurobindo is palpably felt by one who is sincere. From Blessings of the Grace, page 109.